useful information to the rest of the other teams that are watching. And,
No, that's good. That's good. That's good. So they will learn to not use Cyclops because everyone knows.
It's a great hero. It's a great hero. Jay's used it one time. He was saying, oh man, you can spam the ultimate 5 seconds, every single 5 seconds. And I do agree. It's fun. Okay, going into the draft. KSG banning out the Lancelot, banning out the chip. Stallions respond with the CC and Angela ban, taking out from the first pick. Typically, it's the Yi Sun-shin in that spot. And then you're forcing KSG to go over with another assassin, something like a Hayabusa. That might do considerable damage to the back line. I think I wouldn't be surprised if Stallions are going to play pure fighters again.
I don't think that they will kind of go with that idea again, right? There must be some kind of more kinds of variations per se. And the fact that they are on red side, that means that they have that surprise opportunity for R5. R5 is always the last one. They can react based on the entire draft that Kings have already picked. So this, at the red side, is always going to be Diablo's game to be picked last.
As Boxer getting snap picked up by Simple for Kings. So they're going to throw that over to Yahiko. Much more comfortable with the Assassins, but Bakcha actually provides that much more prowess and engagement potential. That typically is the Gatok and the Kimi spot, so Stallions might be able to snap pick those two up.
And perhaps at this point in time, I just want to see a little bit more from Stallions. You know, what kind of heroes that Diablo can play. At this point, I'm just kind of testing him.
If you look at the entirety of the roster for the fighters, I think he can play almost all of it. I want to see him pick the Argus and make it meta.
Shut up.
No, I kid. But, okay, Kalea got to still open. Stallions will pick up the Kimi as well as the Sun-shin. So you got your side lane metas actually in a viable position again. Because we've seen how Bray does so well with the Sun-shin. I think one of the fastest level 15s of all of the jungle so far, capped out at 9 minutes 20 seconds.
As such, oh!
Yep.
Okay.
He goes Fanny, slips through the draft.
It seems like it is going to be either an XP or a roam Baxia.
Oh man,
the triple threat flexibility of the Baxia is coming in. There even is a Kalia. So I think that it makes most amount of sense. Wait, why would they? So this is no longer flexible. They like Stallions completely knows where this Baxia is gonna go now. Why?
But Baxia EXP.
Yeah, Baxia EXP. Kalia roam.
What if you get a gold lane Fanny? It happened before. It happened before. Or, you know, go back to Season 8, you got a Curtizi Fanny mid.
But Ryzen isn't Curtizi though.
Hey. Are you
his own
challenging
person.
him?
No, he's his own person. He will make his own challenge.
Fair. Going back into the second phase of the bans, you know that the Grok is already getting picked up over the side of Lucian QT. There's only one area that we can play him. Ruby getting banned out by KSG. You've got Farsa taken off the bat as well. The Yves would be a threat to Stallions as well. They should be able to ban this out.
At this point, there is only a reason for them to ban a mage or a gold laner. But the fact that they kind of banned out the Farsa, there's still quite a lot that they're going to have to look out for, right? This is relatively a divey composition from KSG. So if anything, a divey mage or an artillery mage will always be a very good pick.
Okay. You ask and they responded, banning out the Lunox, no more divey mages, and then taking out the Badai. So this is really a respect ban over the Diablo. You don't want to have that double side lane fighters, which are really hard to take down. There's still the possibility of getting that Uranus, but then, you know, facing up against Baxia will be difficult for them to sustain and re-heal everything up. There's a little bit of dyssynergy between the Baxia and the Fanny, even though they can rotate to the lanes a lot faster. Baxia thrives on, you know, just slow hitting the target's utility kind of play style. The STS really needs to find a way to take down and melt down the Baxia in the late game.
So what's it gonna be? Team Stallions, since they already they're just lacking of a single marksman, and I think that this is a game that that they can go triple marksman. Exactly what I wanted to say. Since they already got a Kimi on their end, right? And then they pick up a Yuzujin. At this point in time, no point going double fighters anymore.
Yeah, makes sense because the Moskov pretty much is defensible against the Fanny himself. There's only the problem of there's too many targets for Yahiko to pick off. It's easy to get into the back line unless, Lucian Cutie does something about it with building the wall. And, it's always the last pick, Diablo. It's always the same inane question. What will Diablo pick?
Okay.
And then you throw a dart onto a piece of paper and then we're going to pick that up.
Okay, it's gotta be someone that can dive over the back lines. Someone that can dive the back lines and buy a lot of time. With great sustain and so on and so forth. The fact that Lapu is actually not banned kind of give me the idea that they might want to play the Lapu in this case, unless they're going for something a little bit more unorthodox.
Well, the Selena, seeing the light of day this time around, a little bit difficult to manage, but you have a lot of damage already from the Fanny as well as the Beatrix. That's the Akai.
Okay.
Coming into the question again.
Okay.
So, a little bit of a flex. No, Diablo's going to play the Akai.
Yep.
Down the XP side, up against
Interesting.
One boy.
It's still about buying time. It is still about buying time.
I would say
They want to just win in this front to back because they have so many marksmen, right? They will just shred whoever is in front. If you dive into us, never mind, we will be able to split out this fight as much as possible, and whoever that's slammed into the wall, then that person is going to be targeted. And most of the time, it might be Yahiko.
Yeah, I think it's more of a defensive pick for the Akai.
Yeah.
To throw Yahiko off his game, off his tempo, because there's 3 targets that he has to deal with. And for the one of the facts that I want to point out too is the Selena gives a lot more vision. So you're fighting vision with vision. One of the longest stuns in the game, that's around 3 seconds. So if he lands a stun, that means it's pretty much over. You're setting up for Yahiko. Everything's just empowering Yahiko. You got Bong as late game insurance. You got Iron Run to pull everyone back into the wall, over the wall. And Bun Boy just to prepare himself to defend against any threat. But then the rotation will come through and he's facing up against Diablo. So we'll see how the XP lane fares because it's pretty new. A pretty new lineups and matchups down the XP side. But this is match point for Kings, for Stallions, as they are 1 game away from securing that spot in the playoffs.
As such, we are going to be starting with both players onto the purple buff. As a matter of fact, both of these junglers will end up in opposite sides of direction, unless Kings SG decides to go go a little bit more crazy just by just jumping into the opponent's jungle, which is something that we will see right now.
Yep, right there, Lucian Cutie pushing Yahiko back, not giving him that privilege of taking that EXP away from Bray. So very good read onto that one.
I like the fact that the Fanny just face planted into the wall.
Yeah. Good read though.
That must be painful.
I like Lucian Cutie's playstyle.
Yeah.
I wish he was my tank in every single games because you can trust him. You can count on how well he is able to predict the movements of the rest of his team. And if he gets the traps, he's going to step on it. He's going to open that up. On the bottom side though, a 1v1 fight, we know that Baxter is going to have a smaller advantage over the Akai.
Yeah. It's really tough for Akai to have any form of sustainability. This is not the Diablo game, right? This is all about a team game. Team Stallions now, they are just trying to make their make a good way to really enable the 3 marksmen in this game. And it may sound definitely greedy, but it has been tried and tested.
It's a 4-on-4. Lucian Cutie taking a huge brunt of the damage, but Bumbo Reborn is actually first to fall, and Bray picks up first blood. Not enough damage coming in from Kings SG. The turtle spawns in the nick of time. Bumbo Reborn won't be there to zone everyone out of the way, and Team Stallions are gonna gun this down.
Yep, very easy take onto this turtle. At this point, we do have got the arrow that does land on the Roy, but not quite enough to do anything.
Good, Purify. The rest of the cavalry is here. The traction pulse pulls them both back into the wall. They go. One more hit. Roy will solidify that double kill. A little bit of a recall action from him, and he deserves that.
Oh man, what a combo!
Speaking of combos,
Speaking
that
of
is a heavy
combo.
spin into the SOD, into the tectonic charge, and no way Yahiko can survive that.
What is Diablo even doing there? Your lane is all the way down at the bottom. Holy, wow!
Yeah, well, Bumble Reborn wasn't there anyway, so might as well. Damn if you do,
Might
damn
as
if you
well.
don't. Might as well.
Oh man! So this is kind of a post turtle fight kind of in-game equipment. At this point in time, I think that we don't really have too much that we need to really talk about, except for one thing: this guy Piercer that has been bought by Roy.
Oh, that is a fast guy piercer. Typically, you want to build the glowing wand first, just for a little bit more damage. Wow, okay, a lot of damage down on the bottom side to Bumboy Reborn. Struggling to find his footing as he got that early game advantage. Diablo level 6, Bumboy Reborn just got that level 5, and he's trailing behind.
We do have quite a lot of physical damage dealers from the side of Kings SG, and in fact, one of the main damage dealers is all physical. So getting yourself the brute force breastplate is super important, and it does seem like we do have Lucian QD that just went straight for it.
No purple buff for Yahiko. With the
Dreadnought
pullback into the Bandit's Rage. That is Lucian Cutie deleted. But that's all the resources utilized just for one roam.
Yep, Dreadnought armor does help, but of course, there's way a lot of people that's just dealing with him. So he's gotta go down, and finally, Kings will be able to get themselves one kill. But they are all posturing up to prepare for this upcoming turtle. They'll be popping up in 10 seconds time.
There's that top side. Bigtrix already forced that flicker away. No useful resources around this turtle pit. Renza making his way down to the bottom side. Doesn't really need to join in these team fights. Ryzen just being really annoying. But here comes Yahiko with the cables. Missing that one up. The Tsunami Slam will not land. But there is the Bandit's Rage over onto Bray, locking him down and taking him out of the game.
Essentially not any form of damage that Kings SG, not something that Stallions will be able to do. In fact, Moskov just couldn't do any damage.
Lucian Cutie barely making it out. The arrow finds his mark and Ryzen picks up that one.
Renza is just literally just going to be a sitting duck for now. It's a tough game, but they are all just going to be crumbling under him.
Crashing onto the wall, Purify already used up. SOD might not be able to do that. That's 5 members collapsing onto the gold lane.
With 4-4, the total scoreline at this point in time, Team Stallions lost a bit of their opening hand as Kings SG will be able to get a good amount of those energy shield, but it's not quite enough to take down any of this turret yet.
The triple marksman composition from Team Stallions, their cracks are starting to show. It is a bit too glass cannony. If you don't get that initiation factor from Diablo or Lucian Cutie, and you don't get the combos in, you're not going to have a lot of damage done. Diablo being a nuisance as always. Yahiko right there holding on to the Retribution, doesn't want to utilize that for now. You got 3 members down on the mid side trying to find an angle and a flank down onto Roy. But the win condition for Kings is very obvious. Take down Bong, and the rest, as they say, is history.
There was, of course, a lot of opportunity for Renza to be able to wreak havoc throughout the entire fight. But understandably, because of the lack of items, this guy just literally deal no damage to the front line, such as Bumboy Reborn. We just crashed right into the face of Team Stallions together with Iron Ryan. So it will take time. He just got himself the Corrosive Scythe. This is all mostly about quality of life as well as attack speed or slowing down the opponents. Not much of a damage item yet.
Here comes Yahiko with the cables. Won't be able to deal too much damage. Heavy spin for good measure. Get them out of the way. Team Stallions playing 4-on-1. They're putting Renza in a precarious position, trying to push down that lanes and trying to get that farm. We've seen Moskov a couple times this time around. The Bandit Rage onto Diablo. Will not be able to survive that. Able to walk out, but here comes Roy with the damage. With the cables down. Yahiko finds his mark onto the mid lane and slays him. Kings SG crawling themselves back.
As such, they will be able to get themselves that turtle pretty darn easily. And Team Stallions, unfortunately, have to step away and put themselves in the middle lane, watching them burn down.
The play for Kings SG is pretty simple. Take down Roy or any one of the marksmen over the side of Team Stallions, and Kings SG might have a fighting chance. The only issue that I foresee would be in the uber late game if they are playing a defensive position. They don't really have the high ground apart from Beatrix, but if they are able to protect Bong from any harm whatsoever, that's going to be concealed play directly onto Bong. As we say, Tsunami Slam bring Diablo out of the way, but here comes the rest of the team to block off all entrances onto Bong. The Bennett's Rage will deal a lot of damage, and Bumble Reborn able to soak up some, and it's all just a tickle, a touch, and a go. A lot of useful resources already used up.
Well, that is unfortunate. It could have been a pretty good initiation from Team Stallions to try to pick off Bong due to locations. But Yahiko joined the fray and just dove right under the turret to deal with Roy.
No one was expecting Yahiko, but there's a reason why a lot of teams are actually favoring Yahiko's Fanny. Renza gets a full brunt of that arrow, able to get stunned up for 3 seconds. No follow-up just yet. It's so difficult to get into Renza, but Yahiko identifies that Roy is one of the main targets. Once you take down that mid lane, you don't have enough secondary damage to deal with the rest of Kings, as the Bennett's Rage already used to clear up that lane. The wave will get pushed in, T1 top will get destroyed.
It's a 1-for-1. One in the top lane in favor for Stallions and one in the bottom lane in favor for Kings SG. The response from Kings SG is impeccable, so that even if they do lose one of the side lane turrets, it is completely fine for Kings SG.
Good heavy spin, into the wall they go, but not enough damage to take them down. Diablo soaking so much damage as Iron Ryan able to get out of the way. Bong just free hitting on that backside. No one's taking her down except Bray. And Bray has that damage, but it's not enough. They're mitigating all of this. 2 members down, not enough to soak up that damage. It's not late game yet. Renza can't come online.
It seems like Team Stallions is lacking a little bit of a space opener, at least for Bray to be able to do something, right? So far, I'm just looking out for Bray to do optimal amount of damage, constantly just weaving in and out of battles. However, they don't really quite have a lot of those opportunities, because for Team Stallions, they're mostly just chasing enemies, right? You're chasing against a fast-moving Grog that just flickered on forward. You're chasing after a hero that has been bumped by Diablo, rushing to a wall. So time is definitely wasted, and some of these movement skills from Bray has been used just to catch up, not really to create that kind of space so that he can optimally do damage through his glaive and his bow.
Yeah, Roy is one of the main targets that Kings is actually looking out for. Iron Ryan using the Tsunami Slam very defensively to pull them back and secure 1 kill. So it's always a pick-off after a pick-off. You see Renza up alone, trying to push that lane, trying to maintain that long lane priority. Yahiko's not in the vicinity just as of yet. Stallions, they identify this, they know where he is, but they can't make a move because Roy, once he's exposed, he's gonna get shut down, decimated, just like that.
Yep, he gotta have to play more safe out of everyone, because I gotta have to say, Bray is naturally gonna be a little bit closer to the frontliners to make full use of his glaives, while Renza is just all around the map because of his ultimate, right? So at any point in time, the Moskov will just join the fray. While Roy does have got traction pulses that will reveal his location. So he has to be really careful, because all the Fanny need to do is just beeline straight to Roy, and there's not much a Stallion SG could do to stop it.
A very difficult situation, especially for Renza. Once he shows himself, Yahiko knows he's there. If he takes on the Moskov, I think Team Stallions are going to be feeling the full force, the brunt of the force from Kings SG. They have that damage to go through, and all they need is just to have that defense and get Iron Ryan to set things up. Yahiko's just there as an intimidation factor.
This is still a relatively early game for Team Stallions, as they are rocking a triple marksman setup. We've definitely seen that triple marksman can work out in the early phases of the game because of the snowball factor. But in this case, Bray did not manage to get a snowball, so now they gotta have to wait and play the long game. A little bit of macro decisions across the board, trying to throw that Moskov across the map opposite of the Lord, joining in with an SOD at any point in time. That's what Stallions want to do. While for Kings SG, they need to end the game fast. Any time that they allow Team Stallions to just kind of dance around the Lord with no kill, that's the end of them.
Good flicker into the tectonic charge. Bong down low, but will not be able to get shut down. Bray comes in. Bray gets shut down, chased by Yahiko, and kicks him out. Yahiko unstoppable at this point. SOD lands, and here comes Renza to try to clear things up, but not enough, as it's 1-for-1 trade. Yahiko makes it out with the upper hand. He still has that retribution in play. The Lord is open for taking.
Probably a bigger take for Team Stallions is the fact that they managed to bring down the gold laner, but they will miss objectives.
Oh, big Tsunami Slam onto Diablo. That's Yahiko going crazy with the cables. And Team Stallions, they're just back on that defense.
Yep, now it makes things even worse because of the re-entry from Kings SG, cycling Team Stallions at this point in time, putting themselves in a unprecedented spot with the Lord that will be credited over to Kings SG. They will march down the bottom lane. The middle lane T1 undoubtedly should and would be taken away unless they 5-man stack on mid.
The onus is on Renza. He's always trying to sit down up on that top side. It's a tectonic charge onto Iron Ryan. Will be get taken out, but it's a trade 1-for-1, tit for tat. Bong will take Lucian Cutie out. And Team Stallions back on that defense. It's always a tough time for Team Stallions now. It's a very, very difficult position for Team Stallions to be in. Just because, you know, you got to face up against Yahiko's Fanny, and it's a big, big respect over from Team Stallions.
Yeah, so the fact that they no longer have a front line, it makes things so difficult for them to even be able to stand right underneath of their T1 turret. As such, they will lose that and very potentially lose the T2 if they can't clear away Bobby soon.
Now, Larry's coming down from the bottom side. You got two of the marksmen up on the top side trying to desperately push down the T2. The rest of Team Stallions already in the vicinity, taking down that Lord. You have Bray sitting heavily onto that top side. Renza dashes out away from that arrows, and what makes things so much harder is that you have to play dodgeball alongside a cabling Fanny.
It's gonna be a tough one, and this is not just a Fanny that can just fly straight. It's a Fanny that can just fly round and round and round in circles. Understandably, Yahiko has shown prowess in his cabling skills, and I think that this is not peak performance just yet. There's a lot more that Yahiko probably could do with the Fanny.
Yeah, a lot of disruptions, especially from the Selena. Now the value of the Selena actually comes to show. You've got the traps as well to give a little bit more vision. Bray suffering a little bit from that damage. The wall, just for good measure, block that out of the way so Yahiko can't get close to Bray.
Remember, the timing that we want to go for is generally 45,000 in terms of total economy.
It's a reactive tectonic charge, but able to get out of the way, still has the flicker in question. Just for the orange buff, the Lord is going to spawn up in 1 minute, and Team Stallions are playing on the defensive.
They need to be super defensive. They don't have a lot of frontliners that can...
Ooh, good lockdown onto Bong, able to take them out. Roy just free hitting from that back. He's going to lose his life by hands of Yahiko, but look on the backside. Bray just free hitting and dealing that damage, taking 4 down. Bumboy Reborn is the only one that's left. Great initiation from Roy to kick things off. The traction pulse into the lockdown, and now that's a wipeout. Team Stallions might be able to do this. There's a bubble down the T3 mid, but they're trying to pop that open. They need to desperately clear this out. They might be able to do it. Team Stallions, they're securing that spot in the playoffs.
Hot damn!
Hot diggity. Dang.
Hot diggy!
One mistake from Bong, one missed move. Roy kicked things off. He pulled that trigger, dashed right into the traction pulse, and I hope we get to see that in the replay because that was so beautiful. Diablo was watching him just like that. He snapped in, flickered in, heavy spin to the wall, dropped all of that, and Roy just kickstarted everything. A great find. Trapped up. He's the MVP of the game. The Eastern Shin was just unstoppable from the back line, taking everyone down one after another. He's got almost full build. I think that would be a Winter Crown or an Immortality if I ever seen one in that last item slot. But at the end of the day, he was in every single team fights, and this child prodigy is right back and going back into the playoffs.
Whoa. What a way to end this series, right? It kind of seemed as though Kings SG would have took the game for game number 2. Team Stallions clearly having a little bit of difficulty, and at that point in time, we were just thinking, okay, the game gotta have to end for Kings SG real soon because they're tackling against a 3 marksman lineup.
Yeah, for the most part, Yahiko is super scary. Not to mention, Ryzen was hitting the arrows right on the mark, stopping Team Stallions on their tracks. But at the end of the day, when it comes to big zonal potentials and great big skirmishes, Ryzen wasn't as useful, valuable in that sense. You need to be able to stack up your stacks. You need to be able to have that burst damage through. And Typically, though, once bomb goes down, there's no additional supplementary damage that you really effectively has. But I have to give props where credit is due. Kings SG played a heck of a game. Huge shout out to Iron Ryan, able to get counter-reactive plays from Lucian Cutie checking the brushes, able to take him down, able to force useful ultimates before any of these big neutral fights.
Understandably, the Protect the President is always going to be a very good thing to have because
Protect the President because Amooks is in the team as well.
I mean, for a Protect the President kind of situation, right? You will be able to get very good balance all around the game, whereby you have a good amount of sustain, crowd control, tank, damage. You know what is the direction that's going to be like for your team. However, one of the biggest weaknesses is that the moment that you don't protect your president, there's nothing to protect anymore, and then you just lose out your entire win condition. Puts the game in such a difficult spot. In the meantime, for Team Stallions, the way that they play the triple marksman is understandably the fact that you take out one of my marksmen, it's okay. I still got two more. Protect the presidents.
Protect the president.
You have less utility, you have less frontliners, but if you lose one, it's totally fine. You can